This talk will be a comparison between scientific concepts and esoteric concepts concerning radiation and transmutation. Radiation and transmutation from an esoteric and scientific perspective. The radiation and transmutation of esotericism. Radiation and transmutation are subjects of powerful significance to the esoteric student because they concern momentous stages of evolution, those transformations that are accomplished when the lives of one kingdom pass into expression within another on a higher turn of the spiral. This attainment of greater expression is called transmutation, and radiation is its precursor. Radiation is described as transmutation in process of accomplishment. It occurs at the point when an entity surpasses polarization within its lower sheaths and begins to function within its etheric or true form. This puts it into contact with that which lies beyond its own ring-cast knot. The seeking for higher expression is a feature of the more evolved units in every kingdom. It is seen in the radiation of the minerals, the perfume of the flowering plants, the devotion of the domesticated animals, and the human intellectual radiation that leads to initiation. Transmutation is defined as the passage across from one state of being to another through the agency of fire. It occurs at that point of the evolutionary journey when the central life of a form reaches such an expanded consciousness that it exceeds the capacity of its present form nature to contain it. It is to be emphasized that the process has to do with the central life which animates the form and not the form itself. It occurs when this inner positive nucleus of force reaches, quote, such a terrific rate of vibration that it eventually scatters the electrons or negative points which compose its sphere of influence, and scatters them to such a distance that the law of repulsion dominates. They are then no more attracted to their original center, but seek another. The atomic sphere dissipates, and the central essence escapes and seeks a new sphere occultly understood. Close quote. When this is accomplished, the central life of the lower entity, which had originally been a positive force within its own sheath, changes electrical polarity and becomes a negatively charged electron within the body of its new positively charged encompassing sphere. Such esoteric concepts have to do with the mystery of electricity, which is the propelling force behind evolutionary advance and creation itself. A few of the ancient alchemists who studied transmutation understood the essence of this process, but many failed because they misunderstood the concept of the central life and mistook the form instead. Those who may have comprehended the true procedure often withheld their knowledge, considering it too dangerous for general publication. The works of Hermes Trismegistus are cited as containing cogent source material for investigating the secrets of alchemy. The radiation and transmutation of science. In our present era, the discovery of the radiation of the atom is progressing at an accelerated rate because of the incoming influence of the seventh ray, which controls the life of the mineral form. This was detected at the turn of the 20th century with the uncovering of the secrets of the atom. These scientific advances proceeded at such a prodigiously fast pace that much of the foundational work occurred even before scientists were certain about the actual structure and constituents of the atom itself. Radioactivity was first detected in 1896, a year before the electron was discovered. In 1902, Marie and Pierre Curie discovered radium and polonium. Albert Einstein proved the existence of the atom in 1905. Ernest Rutherford defined its structure in 1911 and discovered the proton in 1920. The neutron was not isolated until 1932, and it was only 13 years later that scientists conceptualized, designed, and manufactured the first atomic bomb. It was one of the most productive and brilliant eras that science has ever known. Scientific radiation. Scientifically, there are two broad classes of radiation. Electromagnetic radiation is comprised of waves which range from low-frequency radio waves to visible light to high-frequency gamma rays. These rays are massless and travel at the speed of light. Particle radiation, on the other hand, involves particles with mass, such as electrons, neutrons, and proteins, that can also travel at high velocities. These types of radiation underlie our modern technology. Scientific transmutation. Transmutation between kingdoms is as yet little understood by science. The processes that it has labeled as transmutation involve only the conversion within the mineral kingdom of one element into another by a change in its number of nuclear protons. Frederick Soddy and Ernest Rutherford first discovered it in 1901 and immediately recognized it as the long discredited transmutation of the ancient alchemists. The scientific discovery that directly led to production of the atomic bomb was nuclear fission. This involved the splitting of uranium-235 into krypton and barium. Despite its horrific first use during World War II, it is considered by hierarchy to be the greatest spiritual event which has taken place since the human kingdom appeared. It is referred to as a liberation of energy because it results in, quote, the freeing of some of the soul forces within the atom, close quote. Celestial events. In considering such ideas and correlations, one can likewise contemplate the macrocosm of the universal celestial sphere as studied by astrophysicists, and imagine possible parallels as they may relate to esoteric concepts. For instance, in the consideration of creation events, could it be that the conjectured black hole at the heart of every galaxy is its central monadic life force, magnetically attracting to itself those materials needed for incarnation? This is a simulation of a galaxy merger in our own Milky Way, which is supposed to have occurred 8 to 10 billion years ago. Could it not be that this great absorption of one galaxy by another demonstrates obscuration, one step along the way in the resolving of its 7 sheaves to a final unification? Cosmic rays are powerful and mysterious energy sources from distant areas of the universe. Esoterically, they are said to use the substance of the 7th ray to travel to our planet during its current astrological cycle. Many are thought to have originated in supernovae, those unique stellar explosions of tremendous power that can be observed over human timescales. Given the power and dynamism of such events, might not the rays they emit be indicative of a celestial entity experiencing transmutation and scattering its outgrown particles into space, preliminary to its expansion into higher form? The galaxy filaments depicted here are massive thread-like formations, hundreds of light years in extent, that are believed to connect galaxies in space. They have been described as the largest structures in the universe. Could not these vast interconnecting networks be indicative of the universal etheric web? And might not the dark energy and dark matter, for which science currently has little explanation, also exist in etheric substance as yet to be understood by science? Perhaps someday the human kingdom will so expand its comprehension as to see the underlying causes behind such effects. Then may come the time when it will move towards a higher comprehension of the structure of life, the true purpose of existence, and the human place within the universal cosmic sphere. Thank you.